Okay guys, so now we're going to begin our self-portrait drawings. Think about what kind of emotion you're going to express. Are you happy? Are you sad? Do you just want the idea of making an angry self-portrait because it sounds like fun? Think about what your face is doing when you're happy or sad. Are your eyebrows raised? Are they scrunched up? And we'll begin by drawing the shape of our face using this whole paper. Since it is a self-portrait, you want it to take up most of the space. Imagine your shape, then touch down and create the shape. It's going to be a nice oval shape. If it's not the exact shape you want it, don't worry about it. It will come together as it grows. So what I mean by growing is as we work on it some more. So there's the shape of our head. Our eyes are in the middle of our head, from the tip of our head to the bottom of our chin. So the next step is going to be to slide our fingers together from the top of our head and the bottom of our chin to meet in center. To give us a rough guide to about where our eyes are going to be. I want you to lightly sketch a horizontal line through there. That's your guide mark for your eyes and the tops of your ears. Your eyes are going to be almond shape. Not real close together, but also not on the sides of your head. Your face is in the middle of this shape. Often, I see eyes way up here in the forehead or way over here approaching the ears. Keep them close together. Leave a little space for the middle of your nose. And we're going to start with arches above. Followed by arches below. And it's okay if one eye is slightly bigger than the other. It's not going to be noticeable by the time that we're finished. Now, the next step, we're going to take from that center line, that our guide line, and the bottom of our chin, and we're going to slide our fingers together again to find where our nose is going to approach. Draw a guide line across. And your nostrils are going to be slightly above this line. Your lips are going to be slightly below. So in between these two guidelines, we will draw our ears. Our ears are along the sides of our head, so we're only going to see, depending upon how far out your ears are sticking from your head, we're only going to see a little bit of our ears. Something like that. And by the time we're finished, if you have long hair, you might not see any of your ears. The next step is going to be your nose. Think about how, when you look in the mirror, how much of your nostrils do you see? Only a little or a lot? Is your nose slightly turned up, or is it more down? Are your nostrils wide or are they narrow? Draw the shape of your nostrils first and what you see. Followed by the sides of your nose, which are going to approach up to your eyebrows very lightly. Our nose gets more narrow or tapers in to between our eyes, but then it follows along where our eyebrows will be. So if you imagine this following to where our eyebrow would be, the next thing you could do is just think about where your eyebrows are and give yourself a little mark. But here's where it's going to change. Here is where you really start thinking about what emotion you have. If you leave your eyebrows up here where that mark is from off of your nose, you look excited or surprised. When we're surprised or excited, our eyebrows are high. Maybe even exaggerated high like this. When we are angry we tend to scrunch our face closer together. I'm going to show you some examples so you can decide. And our eyebrows come down on the inside to make a more angry eyebrow. Just changing the eyebrow shape changes the appearance of that emotion. If you're sad and you raise your eyebrows up some, that sorrowful look, it appears like your eyebrows are going down on the outside and up on the inside. Sad or worried. So decide how you want your eyebrows. Look in the mirror if you can, or maybe you have a phone app on your phone, a camera app on your phone or a tablet, and you want to take a look like you were taking a selfie. Sometimes it helps to even go ahead and take a selfie so you can look at a picture of yourself. So I did my eyebrows sad or worried. What's going to really help that expression come across, that emotion, is to create a sad mouth. Now I'm just going to draw the frowny face. And when I come back and add lips, a lip above the line and a lip below, how he really looks sad. A smiley face, I'm going to give you some examples, so it'll be very similar. On the back, you draw the happy mark. Now, our smiles don't go from ear to ear like some people say. It's impossible. You can look in the mirror and try, but you cannot get your smiles ear to ear. Some people have a more flat lip, and some have that little dip in their lip. There's a happy face. When you're angry, you might have a smaller mouth because it's all scrunched together. You can even add those little marks where your lip scrunches together. Angry, happy, sad, surprised. Maybe you're so surprised you went, oh! So we have our mouth open, add lips above and below. Maybe you can see just a little bit of your teeth. Now, if you decide to have any teeth in your portrait when doing your mouth, please make sure to draw each tooth. There are 0 students in any of my art classes in all my years of teaching who have these teeth that looks like jail bars. Nobody has those teeth. Instead, here's my smile, mouth is open. I want you to start at the very middle. Think about, and you can look at your smile in the mirror, and think about how much of those teeth you see. And start with the line of symmetry. It splits the middle in your face. The line of symmetry that runs down, and draw each tooth. So here's 2 teeth and 2 more. Maybe you don't see a whole lot of your top teeth when you're smiling. And then think about how many you see. You might only see that much if your mouth's open. If your teeth are closed and your mouth is open, you're not going to be able to open it very far. So think about not showing too much teeth if you want to have some teeth showing. All right, back to here. Our necks. Our necks are going to come down from the sides near our ears. You can run your fingers along the side of your face and feel that. And it's going to come in to our shoulders and back out. Down, in, out. Your neck's pretty wide. It needs to support a heavy head. You don't want your head to be flopping around. Our eyes are going to have eyelids. If your eyes are open a lot, you can put your eyelashes way up here. Everybody has eyelashes, boys and girls both. If your eyes are closed some, you can draw that line lower and have your eyelashes farther down. They're still going to be there. And then your eye is round, and your iris and your pupil are round also. You don't always see all of it at one time. There's one eye. You can make yourself looking straight out, or here I'll make them looking to the side. Maybe she's sad because somebody ate all her favorite color jelly beans, or maybe she's sad because she's watching a sad movie. She's looking in this direction. That's a little bit of light in her eye. And here comes the other one. Eyelashes. And she's looking that direction. If you have a little pouty face, sometimes your chin scrunches up too, so you may need that line in your chin. And we're going to add our hair. So think about how your hair is on your head. Do you part it to the side? This is your forehead here. Think about how much forehead you see. Does your hair come way down to your eyebrows? I part my hair to the side on the right side of my head, and my hair comes across my forehead and down the side in front of my ear and down to my shoulders. So I'm just drawing the shape that my hair is going to be filling. On this side comes in front of my ears. I usually have only some of it coming in front of my ears, and on this side it kind of pulls back behind my ear. I wear it a little bit different on this side. And then I'm going to continue the hair. My ears pretty much get covered up unless I have my hair pulled back. And you can, if you had enough room to draw your neck and shoulders, you can add a shirt collar, or maybe you have on a tank top. You can add those parts of your sleeves, whatever it is that you're wearing. You can add the fun details like this now. Freckles, if you want to add just a few, don't add too many. If your chin is a little more narrow, you might change the shape of it some. You might have some earrings on your ears that come out a little bit. Maybe hoop earrings, pearls. I'm going to talk about boys' hair now. So there's girls' hair, and boys' hair is not that much different. I often have several boys who draw their faces and their hair is way up here on the tip top of their head. You still have a forehead to consider. Your forehead defines where your hair is going to stop and start. And let's see, when you're drawing, I'm going to choose this part right here. So here was your head. When you're drawing your hair on your head, Let's say your eyes, here's the middle. I'm going to do it small. And we're just going to get that far so you know where the eyes are, ears, just to have a general idea. And you can talk about your emotions and all that with the rest after. But think about how far your forehead goes back from where your eyebrows are. So here's the eyebrows. You can feel your forehead or look in the mirror. This, even if you have a shaved head, like it's really, really, really short, that would mean you had only a tiny bit of fuzz at the very tip top of your head, and the rest was bald. So you think about your forehead. Maybe you'll see all of your forehead because your hair is really short and comes to your ear on the side of your head. Remember, this is the side of your head. We have round heads, so we're seeing some hair that's on the side of our heads. And then you can fill that in with the color of your hair. Think about which way your hair goes, if it's fuzzy or curly or straight, and what color it is. You don't have to draw every hair in, but if you had blonde hair, you can come back with color after and add color, just to get an idea of what boy hair is like. This is also good for those who want to draw themselves wearing a ponytail. So if you're a girl and you're wearing a ponytail, you would start something like this, like boy hair, and then you might round this out a little bit. Sometimes we have the little hairs that come down here, or softer forehead for the girls. And pull the hair back. Maybe you have a bow. And a little bit of a ponytail here that maybe you can see it coming in the wind over here because you're running around or playing on the playground because you're happy and it's sunny outside. There. So there's a ponytail. If your hair's longer, bring it on down. Maybe you wear a ponytail low and you have it over here, coming around to the side. Use your imagination. Think about you. What characteristics make you who you are? What will people recognize about you? If you're wearing glasses, put some glasses on this girl. If you wear glasses, think about how they go over your nose, under your eye, all the way across. We're looking at the outer edge of the frame here, comes across this way. And then in each part of your frame there is a glass lens, a glass lens for you to look through. And the sides of your glasses are gonna come back behind your ear and into your hair and disappear, so you might not really see them. Something like that. Maybe this is a little bit narrow, more narrow. Maybe they're down a little bit farther. They're different shapes of glasses. So there's your start of your self-portrait. If you get that far, then you're gonna think about which color goes with which emotion, and I'll remind you of that next time. We'll continue this, and I will review emotions and communicating through emotions and color and art. And you can have more time to finish drawing your portraits, and then we'll talk about how we can add color. You can use colored pencil, crayon, and marker for adding color. So that was fun. Draw your best self-portraits, and I'll see you next time.